Yo, man, getting no cheese. In the club, we throw G's. Stacking blue hundreds with more. I make it rain. She my lady. Yeah, yeah. Just for the night. She sit on the pipe. Yeah, yeah. And she off them blue strips. Shorty too thick. Now my new chick. Just a fling. Soon as we hit goals, then it's lift off. Then we do some other things. She my lady. But love in my set. She wanna ride. As long as she wet. Long as she ain't crazy. Yeah, yeah. Come be my lover. If she play it cool, we gonna ride. We gonna ride. I'm a trip of Japan. Trip of Japan. Yeah, yeah. Stacking his hands. Stacking his hands. Yeah, yeah. We going way up. Floaties. Yo, man, getting no cheese. In the club, we throw G's. Stacking blue hundreds with more. I'm getting cake. Baby, I'm serious. It's not a game. These boys is delirious. I know you hearing this. Fearing this. Way I took over the top, you would think I'm a tyrannous. And I don't trip. Girl, I just grind. She feel attached. Girl, you just mine. She said it too fat. Girl, you just fine. So why not let chill in Japan for the time? We in a rave. Think she in space. She see the stars. Up in the way. She hides my Fuji, yeah. My cherry blossom. If they try to play, baby, I got 'em. I'm a trip of Japan. Trip of Japan, yeah, yeah. Stacking his hands. Stacking his hands, yeah, yeah. We going way up. Floaties. Yo, man, getting no cheese. In the club, we throw G's. Stacking blue hundreds with more. Trip of Japan. Trip of Japan, yeah, yeah. Stacking his hands. Stacking his hands, yeah, yeah. We going way up. Floaties. Yo, man, getting no cheese. In the club, we throw G's. Stacking blue hundreds with more ease, yeah.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kors Show, where I'm Matt, your Kors, and together we are the show. It is a beautiful Tuesday, April the 23rd, and finally, the stock market is showing signs of a potential bounce. Now, obviously, yesterday was a green day. Weird because it kind of dipped for the first hour and then finally ripped and then kind of peaked a little bit at the end. But overall, it was a green day. And that was the first green day we've had after, 6 red days in a row. So finally, we're seeing some signs of life in the old stock market. So I hope you're wearing your green because, hey, I actually don't even care if the market's green today. I hope our portfolios are green today. That's the thing that really matters. I don't really particularly care if the market goes up or down. I just want to be on the right side of it. So I want to get into that. The big news is what's going on with earnings. So we had a couple report this morning. What was it, like GE, JetBlue? So we'll get into those. The second big tech one, I would argue. Anyway, we got some big tech ones coming out, and Tesla's reporting after the market closes today. So I want to give you the skinny on that situation. I want to talk about the backdrop of the macroeconomic situation with Jerome Powell, monetary policy, inflation. We have a ton of videos to react to. We have a ton of things to get into in just terms of, I guess, you got to find it funny because if you don't, you'll just find it sad. But we do have some political updates between Biden, Trump, this guy, that guy, this person fighting, that one fighting. You're saying my volume's low. I think that's you, man. I think that's exclusively you because on my side, it's actually coming in a little bit hot right now. I'm clipping it a little bit. So D-Box, literally just go buy better speakers. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, we're going to do some chart breakdown. We're going to do some news breakdown. We're going to do some earnings prep. We're going to talk a little bit about the Fed. And I guess we'll put together a little bit of a trading plan. So if you haven't already, obviously, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, as we're going through this, grab yourself a little cup of coffee. I might be on my third today. I don't know if that is legal and or safe. But obviously, make sure 1775 Coffee Co. is in your cup. Right here, I'm holding the medium roast. It is my favorite one. I've now had the medium roast. I've now had the dark roast. I've now had the pea berry. And they're all good. They're all quality premium coffee. But I have to let you know, with the seasons changing and whatnot, medium roast seems to be where it's at. Here's my little secret recipe. You get up in the morning. You wrestle your little jungle cat who's kept you up all night. You go over, you make yourself some medium roast. I put in about 3 to 5 ice cubes, a little bit of almond milk. Dude, that's how you get a day started. So if you're just getting up right now, feeling a little bit of grogginess and you're a coffee drinker, check out 1775 Coffee Co. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you use the code MATT, M-A-T-T, those 4 simple letters, it'll get you 10% off, but we'll talk about them in a bit more. I just wanted to shout them out. Obviously, shout out to them for being a sponsor of today's show. Here's a little quick look-see at the market. Obviously, ever since we hit the high on March 28th, 524.61, since then hasn't been so good. Obviously, there was a jolt, a negative jolt, a bearish jolt to the system on Thursday, April the 4th. And this is when there was a little bit more chat, a little bit more of a clear concept that maybe, just maybe, the Fed might not do any rate cuts this year if inflation doesn't come down. Obviously, from there, the market was like, oh, whoa, how do we interpret this? And then from there, they're like, yeah, no, that is straight up bad. And since then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red days in a row. At a part yesterday, it looked like we were going to keep doing that. But finally, around 11:15, it started to recover, push, kind of gave it back at the end of the day. But overall, technically a green day. So that's the first green day in a hot minute. Stock futures edge higher as earnings season ramps up. Folks, we are in the middle of earnings season. Right now, if you look at the S&P 500 futures market, green on the 5-minute, green on the 10-minute, green on the 30-minute, and the daily, okay, trying to push a little bit. Now, if we look at the NASDAQ, if this ever loads, I have way too many tabs open. I need to figure that out in my life, but hey, that's a me problem. 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute on the NASDAQ, also green. So as of now, as of 9:03 in the morning, things appear to be slightly favoring the bulls, but obviously there's a lot of time between now and the world's biggest casino, the market officially closing on the day. So anyway, stock futures are slightly higher, but before we get into all that, let me give you the skinny on maybe some of the situation that you missed. You know, something is going on when AB, Antonio Brown, starts to chime in on political discourse. So this was from late last night. Joe Biden is the worst president we've ever had. And he decided to, I guess, quote tweet Joe Biden saying Donald Trump is the worst president we've ever had. So we have some of this craziness developing, and obviously we are in an election year. I don't think that's surprising anyone, but I just wanted to touch on some of the recent developments. So we have right now, in terms of polls, it seems like the biggest thing that's really, in a weird way, helping Trump but hurting Biden, especially in swing states, is what's going on with inflation. Now, I'm not here to say that Joe Biden prompted all of inflation. That we could take and discuss and argue about for hours and hours and hours, but we live in a situation where if things are good, they attribute it to the guy in power. If things are bad, they attribute it to the guy in power. Not necessarily if the guy in power is the one who prompted the good or bad. It's just how a lot of people end up voting. So anyway, with that, right now, inflation, that's the major thing. Inflation, money, that is what people are really, I mean, that's what the polls are showing. A lot of people are voting with that. The other things going on is obviously, and it's somewhat tied to money because people are feeling the financial pinch. And then all of a sudden you hear about all these bills being passed that were giving other countries a lot of money. Now, you might agree with that. You might disagree with that. But people, it's kind of making them angry. And then that is spilling over to a point where we're seeing kind of some weird social unrest, especially on college campuses. And right now, Columbia and Yale has been, I guess, like a hotbed of just absolute craziness. So here, for those of you who don't know, on Columbia, especially Columbia right now, but also a little bit of Yale, a lot of, I guess, argument of, is it an anti-war issue? Is it an anti-Israel thing? Is it a pro-Palestine thing? I don't think they even know. I think people are showing up because other people are showing up, and then because other people are showing up, other people are showing up, and they just all want to stand there and see what happens. And unfortunately, when you have obviously a heightened emotional state and then so many people showing up, usually things do boil over, and that's exactly what's happening on some of the most quote-unquote prestigious college campuses right now.
It is especially important that we remember the power of young people shaping this country today, of all days, as we once again witness the leadership of those peaceful student-led protests on campuses like Columbia, Yale, Berkeley, and many others.
Now, it doesn't take about 4 seconds of research to realize that these aren't all peaceful. Some of them are peaceful, and I hope that the ones that are peaceful remain peaceful. But to characterize them as like, oh no, people are just like kind of standing there chit chatting. No, not 100% true.
Protected. Bernie, you're the best. And Representative Ocasio-Cortez in New York, you know, I learned a long time ago, listen to that lady. Listen to that lady. We're going to talk more about another part of the world too, real quickly. Look, joined by all of you advocates and community leaders, this is a good day. It's fitting to be here and
Now, with that, kind of an interesting stance to take for the President Joe Biden to say, hey, I've learned a lot from her, and maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. It sounds like it's just a good thing to say. But obviously, because of his position as President of the United States and the United States' position, obviously we're allies with Israel, and we're going to stay allies with Israel. You might think that's smart, you might think that's dumb, but it's just what the situation is right now. And then she's taking more of the different route. It's interesting where he has to play both sides of the fence, and generally when you do that, you just end up making everyone angry. Columbia and Yale get tough on pro-Palestinian protesters. U.S. campus demonstration spread as Passover holiday begins. Columbia donor Kraft cites virulent hate in pausing support. So shout out to everyone celebrating Passover. Hope you did that. I believe it started at sundown last night. But anyway, right as this is happening, we're seeing once again, it seemed like it was crazy there for a bit, then it calmed down, and now things are once again ramping up, and super strange stories are coming out of this. So you actually have a professor here from Columbia that I guess they just are not letting him in, and obviously he is a Jewish professor, as you're about to find out, but super strange stuff.
Media in is the university keeping the media out. This is the COO of the university.
This is at Columbia, and I believe this is a math professor at Columbia.
Can you back up, please? My card has been deactivated? Why? Can you back up, please? Wait. Everybody, my card has been deactivated. This is Cass Holloway, the COO. This is Gerald Lewis. They were in the meeting where I asked them if Hamas is a terror organization, and they couldn't say that it is a terrorist organization. Why? I'm a professor here. Why can't I?
Shai,
No. Speak out loud so the media
Shai,
can hear.
we are willing to take you to the math lawn.
No, I am a professor here.
So it goes on. It doesn't really change much from there, but it's kind of crazy. So apparently the CEO of Columbia, they can't even say that Hamas is a terrorist organization. That's a little bit strange. So this is the stuff that is actively going on. And in a weird way, it's all intertwined with really the election year we're in right now, because it comes back to people in the U.S. not feeling content, and then there's money flowing away from the U.S., and then they look at to where it's flowing, and then there's global conflict, and then back here, some people agree with the conflict and think it's appropriate and think the U.S. should be involved, but then obviously the other side saying, hey, we shouldn't be involved at all. So right now it's a mess. You can feel that the tensions are high. And with that all being said, on the backdrop of the market, for quite a while, it didn't care. I mean, the market hit an all-time high. We were ripping. As many of you know, the market typically doesn't like uncertainty. And it wasn't until the past couple of weeks that we even took a breather. But please understand, even though this was we'll call it like a brutal 6-day sell-off, when you zoom out, you kind of realize in the grand scheme of something, this little dip right here, nothing too crazy whatsoever. Nothing too crazy at all. So yeah, I would actually define it as just like a reasonable pullback. And I'm going to show you something pretty cool and special a little bit later on Spot Gamma. But actually right now in this sell-off, not many people are buying puts. I can quantifiably show you that most people are buying calls in this drop. So the overall options market is actually not that bearish. So anyway, we'll get into all of that, but it's just the craziness with the market, and then tying it back a little bit more. This is a bit of a step back and some larger commentary, not specifically just what's going on with campuses, but give this a listen.
Can't find the money to build a border wall. We can't do anything about our infrastructure crumbling down around us. We've got a massive homeless crisis, fentanyl overdoses going on all over the place. But when Ukraine needs our help, we're right there. We've got flags in our pockets ready to wave around. And what's even more crazy is close to 70% of people in this country don't support continued aid to Ukraine, but they're doing it anyway because they don't care. We live in a uni-party. There's no such thing as a Republican. We don't live in a two-party state anymore. It's done. It's over. The only person at this point who is even remotely anti-establishment and against all this uni-party crap is Donald Trump. Can't find the money
I don't necessarily have commentary on the final sentence there, but overall, I think this is an interesting point of left or right. Most people are starting to have issues with the money leaving the country and our Fed printing more money and giving it to other people when we have a bunch of our own issues here. So the sentiment of this particular video of maybe we should clean up and get our own house in order before we start doing things elsewhere, I think most people agree with that. I don't even think it's a left or right thing. It's just, wow, we're all having a bit more of a tough financial situation, and then yet money's leaving. So this is another just aspect that is adding to the discontent. But don't worry, I know it is easy on this side of the camera to complain and complain and complain and really never offer any solid solutions. So I found the solution for all of us. This is a genius economist right here. You gotta give it a listen and really think about what she has to say.
USA is in debt. Everybody's in debt. Why don't we just print more money? And hold on, because I've heard the whole inflation, it'll go up topic. Well, just don't. Just don't make it go up.
Don't.
Just get the printers going. Let's print some more money. Like, aren't we the ones printing money? Hold on. Let me really logically think about this.
Okay.
The trees make paper. The paper is money. Okay, so we cut down more trees.
Technically, it's made out of cotton.
We print some more money. The world would be a better place if I was president. No inflation.
She has
nothing
my
goes up.
vote.
We just print more money. We don't just give it away, but we print it and then we're not in debt anymore. Because aren't we like a lot in debt? I'm not stupid. But like for real though, should I like go tell the president?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I know we were having some financial problems. I just had a little idea. Print some more money. Isn't it just like that simple? I feel like so many world problems are just like have really simple solutions. Like what other, I guess the printers, they cost some money. Maybe labor for whoever's printing the money. I'll print the dang money. And then the trees.
She's even offering to do it.
The ink. But other than that, hey, we got more money. Just don't.
I think she's spot on. I've been thinking about this video for hours and I cannot come up with one hole. I can't come up with one particular issue in this pitch. Maybe we're in a situation where our government's just not thinking outside of the box. And then we obviously here have some big brain, Jimmy Neutron, Gen Z economy genius saying, hey folks, I figured it out. And I just don't know why she's not getting more praise, more adulations, and honestly, just like more respect because she's right. Why don't we just print more? Yeah, print houses, all this. She's convinced me. And if she hasn't convinced you, you're just not seeing the trees from the forest, you know? I think she's onto something. I really, really do. On the other side of it, the drama doesn't just happen on one side with Biden. It also happens on the other side with Trump, because that's the crazy world we live in where these are our options. Trump paid hush money to P-Star to protect brand, according to the lawyer. I don't know why, out of all the things that is tripping this dude up, I don't know why this is one that is taking up our resources and time in the court system here in New York. Because obviously this is just a silly one. Out of all the serious things going on, this is a particularly crazy one. The hush money payment, I don't think even the public, like a lot of these things, and I'm no lawyer, all I've done is watch half of the series called Suits, which is a phenomenal show, by the way. But that's pretty much the totality of my legal experience. And with said legal experience, it feels like this one, it just doesn't have the public support. I don't think the average person even cares about the hush money payments. It feels like if they do care about something, it's probably related to, I don't know, January 6th or something like that. Not this hush money. I think the world's just over the hush money. But even with that, it is underway. Opening statements begin in Trump trial.
The lawyers here today. He should not even be here today because he did nothing wrong. It is the epitome of a witch hunt. I just left where a judge asked us whether our cash bond, sitting in. Miss James wanted to argue and say that our cash somehow isn't green enough. We wasted time. The judge made a comment saying he thought that money market accounts could go down under the amount. He doesn't even understand basic principles of finance, but this was the man that decided that we owed money and my client committed fraud. We are going to attack every single one. 1 hour, the Attorney General and that judge realized quickly that they had no idea what they were talking about. We came to an agreement that everything would be the same. We would modify terms, and that was it. This is where your taxpaying dollars are going, America. Right here. Witch hunt after witch hunt. President Trump's company was worth more in that case than it is now. And now what? We're here because of something that happened when he was in the White House that wasn't even wrong. It was not wrong. You hire lawyers to solve problems, lawyers solve those problems, you pay them. That's it. This is a joke. It's an affront to the American Constitution. It's an affront to our judicial system, and it's an affront to every lawyer that cares about their license, that cares about what is right and wrong. I am sick of coming in front of the press and saying this, but you have to, because you people need to understand what is going on.
You people.
God forbid you put an accounting thing in for legal counsel. It's legal counsel. And now our taxpayer dollars, my time, our attorney's fees, are all here because they're afraid of 2024. And you know what? They should be, because the American people are not stupid. They see what's going on. Thank you.
Well spoken, but so that's the second of 4 current legal things that Trump is dealing with. There's 4. The hush money one is kind of the weakest one, but the other 3, depending where it does go, where it doesn't go, is he going to get caught up in the legal system? Is he going to just get caught up so he can't go on the campaign trail? But like I said, we just kind of got a prelude. The other 2 are currently like kind of stalled out, and I'm sure that'll restart soon. But right now, there's 4 major legal things going on the Trump side of things. So that's your, I suppose, a little bit of your political update and the craziness there. One thing, I wanted to play this just because it's making its rounds somewhat, but Tucker Carlson was recently on JRE, and then JRE, this is not that clip. Tucker Carlson, obviously of Fox, now he does his own Tucker Media thing, and I wanted to play this just because it's talking about, I don't know, the overall thing, but I did also want to ask you, did anyone see the Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan segment where he just straight up said evolution is not a thing? He's like, yeah, like it's pretty much disproven. Because that kind of blew my mind. Like literally straight up blew my mind. And maybe I'm not quoting it properly. Maybe I'm stating it incorrectly. And this is one of those things where I really, really dislike how in this world you have to either fully agree with people or fully disagree. There's some things that Tucker said that I would say, oh, like that's pretty logical. That makes sense. And then there's other times that he's literally just saying evolution is not real. He's right. If you don't think evolution is real, if you don't think that there's literally been countless scientists, biologists that have researched this and proven this, you're dumb. You gotta get your head examined. You need to learn a little bit more about the scientific method. If you're sitting here and you truly believe that evolution is not a thing, that's stupid. It's a theory. Gravity's a theory. There's a lot of theories out there. And evolution is very much a real thing. They fooled you. No, they didn't, because I have the capability to understand what the scientific method is. I understand how it was tested. And if the argument is, oh, but for so long, so many people believed it. Yeah, for so long, so many people believed that we were the center of the universe. Guess what? Science disproved it. And this is so stupid. I cannot believe that we are in 2024 and people are like, I don't know about this evolution thing. This is actually wild that we live in a world where, think about all the information. I mean, it's as fucking like, it's the same lunacy as flat earthers. At one point, people thought the earth was flat. We thought we were the center of the universe. In my mind, and really all people who have like any understanding of the scientific world, there's no difference. Like you're as silly and ridiculous if you think the planet is flat as you do if evolution is just not a thing. This is the most ridiculous thing. I mean, it's more fun to deal with flat earthers than people are like, nah, evolution's not real. Dude, it's just this is why people should pay attention to biology class a bit more than fucking smashing their head off the wall. But anyway, like I said, that blew my mind. Tucker Carlson on even Joe Rogan was like, dude, like, I'm not afraid of the jazz cabbage here every so often, but what are you talking about, brother? Even to floor Joe Rogan, he's like, so what do you mean? Like, what do you mean, man? For Joe Rogan to even be like, oh, all right, that one's a little out there for me. I thought that was a particularly funny one. But anyway, off the subject of evolution, because we talk about evolution on Fridays and today's a Tuesday, here's what Tucker was saying about some related topics of like the economy and politics and the market and all that good stuff.
The only reason we have regulations is to create monopolies. The system is completely rigged, and you know that. You're asking, how do you get reliable information about the news? The news media want to talk about race. That's like their main thing they want to talk about. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. But that's actually not an interesting conversation because you can't change your race, and like people are different races and they're sort of different, but they're also very much the same. It's like not that interesting a topic to me personally. I'm not interested in talking about race. What's really interesting is that the United States of America is being looted by a small number of people who are getting away with it, and they don't want to talk about that. Right. They never want to talk about economics. They never want to talk about the tax code. They never want to talk about any of that stuff ever, and that's how you know that CNBC and CNN and the New York Times, all these people are like looking out for you, are actually just a Praetorian Guard standing in front of the people with the most power and money and keeping the masses from asking uncomfortable questions. Because it's like, shut up, racism!
Yeah.
Trannies or whatever. It's all a distraction from what the real story is, which is they're looting the country.
Looting.
And right there, I think that is a perfect example of when it comes to someone, you don't necessarily have to be all in or all out. People can say things that you agree with, and that exact same person can say things you don't agree with. This world and relationships and agreement, it's not an all or nothing thing. I think that's a very valid point of not left or right. There are people, it's a populist versus elitist thing. There are people, a very finite subset of people with financial influence, regulatory influence, political influence, who are going to set up the system to insulate themselves and keep themselves in whatever form of power they have, and most likely to grow their power even more. That makes sense. It's not a left or a right thing. It's more of, hey, look at all these social issues, like right here, kind of like a bull in the matador and the red cape or whatever the hell it is. And they're like, look. When in reality, there's so many more impactful things going on. And a lot of the times, I think whatever these social issues are, even if they are there and present, the way the media and the establishment works, they're really doing nothing but fanning the flames. They're actually making it worse and not better. And it's just continually over and over. It's an onslaught from media. And they never stop to ask the question of like, oh, okay, like, are we accurate? Is this right? Is this the biggest thing going on right now? No, for them, because it's in the game where it's just clicks and revenue. And obviously there's many studies showing that if you just drive negative emotion and hate and vitriol, they come back more and more. So for them, it's a race to increasing the bottom line and not necessarily what is the most prevalent and impactful to our time. Speaking of prevalent and impactful, GM reported this morning, so did GE, UPS, PepsiCo, Lockheed Martin, Spotify, RTX, JetBlue, and Halliburton. A lot of earnings. We are in earnings season. After the market closes today, Tesla, be prepared for Boeing tomorrow morning, AT&T. We have Meta, IBM, Ford, Chipotle. Later on this week, Microsoft, Google, aka Alphabet, Intel, Snapchat, Roku, and then we have some energy plays to conclude this week. ExxonMobil, Chevron. We have some pharmaceutical plays as well. Feel free to screenshot this. Feel free to go to @eWhispers. It's a phenomenal account. But just to cover some of the ones that have already come out this morning, General Motors raises 2024 guidance after big first quarter earnings beat. JetBlue shares tumble 9% after airline lowers 2024 revenue outlook. Not necessarily reporting this week, but still pretty important. Apple's China iPhone sales dived 19% in worst quarter since 2020. We are seeing Apple have a brutal year. I would argue Tesla, Apple, and Boeing, in terms of well-known popular companies, popular stocks to trade, Those three are the three that are getting hammered the most. It's just loss after loss after loss. Now, do I believe that Apple, Tesla, and Boeing will perpetually just keep going down and get destroyed? No. If anything, I'm paying attention to them because I'll probably buy them on a dip when I start to see the news and the sentiment around them change. But I just want to bring up to the fact that those three are very much bucking the trend that we saw really established by the tech sector, more specifically the semiconductor. So worthwhile to pay attention to. Now, in terms of today, obviously we'll be doing some technicals, this, that, the other thing. I do want to let you know that there are some reports at 9:45 today, Tuesday, April 23rd. S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing PMI, S&P Global Services PMI, new home sales come out at 10 a.m. We also have some bond auctions, some treasury auctions at 1 p.m. We get the results today. I believe it's from the 2-year note auction, I want to say. And then here's a look at what's coming down the pike for later this week. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter, mattcors.locals.com. It's in the description of the video. I break down the week, let you know all the other things to pay attention to, highlight all the earnings, and then I kind of bold the ones that I think you're going to care the most about. And most importantly, I give you the seasonality for each individual day. This particular day, Tuesday, April the 23rd, historically, over the past 25 years, over the past 2.5 decades, it's nothing. It's scratch. Little up, little down. So I don't necessarily think that there's like a bullish or a bearish, I guess, sentiment that I want to run with it. Now, before we get going today, I hope we have enough time. Rumble, please comment if you're bullish or bearish. Please comment if you're bullish or bearish. But I do very much want to play this clip because I want to remind you the type of people you're trading against in the market. Those days that you're down and out and feel like you just can't make trading work, these are the people you are in competition with.
People that say it's a quarter till this time, that shit has always angered me.
Why? That's some of those.
Okay, what's a when I didn't learn this till this year. A quarter doesn't mean 25 minutes. It's a quarter past 9, 9:25.
Completely wrong. Completely wrong.
What is so? It's 15.
Correct.
What? Tell me what the? How does that make sense? Explain that to me.
Because a quarter. You're thinking straight to currency.
Yes.
A quarter is a fourth. That's all a quarter is.
Well, okay.
A quarter is a fourth of anything. It's a fourth of anything. Don't think of the actual.
I don't understand that.
A fourth. A quarter of 10 is 2.5.
It's 2.5, 25. Where is this 15 coming?
Example.
Yeah, where's 15 coming
60.
from?
60. An hour is 60 minutes. So
Okay.
if you break it into fourths, a quarter
25,
is 15.
50. When did we start speaking in currency? Like when we're saying it's $1.30 until 18. What am I supposed to like? What is? It's $1.30 till noon. Who are we?
It's $1.30 till 18. If you fused currency and military time, people are gonna think you just walked out of a spaceship.
Those are the people you're competing against, and they happen to have a massive, massive overlap with the people who think evolution is not real. So that's a thing. But anyway, chat bullish. What time is it? All right, I have a minute to get this going. You guys voted bullish on the day. Let's see if you can beat the wheel at open. The wheel is also bullish today. So both accounts, once again, going bullish. So let's see how we could pull it off. All right, there we go. All right, I selected bull. On the left side, you have the chat. Both YouTube and Rumble have voted bullish this morning, so you guys are in agreement. And then the wheel, Lady Luck, the wheel of destiny, also deciding to go bullish at market open. Let's see how this one plays out. Should be firing off in about 20 seconds, or should I say about $1.80 from now. About $1.80 from now, maybe $7.40, because we apparently speak in currency. He's a college grad. No, that's your lead anti-evolution guy. It's the same people who think the earth is flat. Jesus. All right, we are going now.
Target filled.
Bada bing, bada boom. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it, folks. That just makes life easier. What are we doing over here? We're not really actually moving too much. We moved about 10 points. Hang on. Uh, 60. Well, these were working for a second for me. Come on. Give me some movement. anything but this choppiness. Anything but this. Come on. We were right there.
Order filled. Order filled.
There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. 3K, 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 135, 135. What a way to start the day. Realize 3.2K, realize 3.1K, realize 3.1K, realize 3.1K, realize 135, realize 135. Folks, that's what it's like when you're the best trader on this side of the Mississippi. Sometimes you just got to feel lucky at market open and rip it on minute one. Now, as we're waiting for things to develop, because a lot of these should keep trading for me right here. I mean, as you can see, I have a lot of strategies that are enabled on the day. So let's see how that all ends up actually playing out. Lots more to go. And what's going to trigger these to actually trade is a lot more movement. So while we're waiting for that movement to happen very, very quickly, a shout out to one of today's stream partners. I'm talking about 1775 Coffee Co. They are the official exclusive coffee partner with Rumble. So everyone watching on Rumble, check it out. And everyone watching on YouTube, if you just want some quality coffee, like I said, my absolute favorite is the medium roast. But if you're waking up because you're there all night getting ready for trading, prepping, getting your trading plan, researching that company, seeing what's going on in the futures market, you're just a night owl. And in the morning when the market bell goes off at 9:30 and you're like, dude, I need a good quality premium cup of Joe. That's what 7075 Coffee Co. is. Premium coffee sourced from the mountaintops of Bolivia, some good stuff, shipped to Florida, roasted there, and then sent to you. They have medium roast, dark roast, pea berry. On top of that, they're also coming out with some of these cognitive supplements for anyone who might be interested. A classic, all those classic mushroom extracts that you might be anticipating. But anyway, if you want to battle the sleepiness, if you want to battle the establishment, if you want to support a company that cares about you and your free speech rights, check out 1775 Coffee Co. Use the code MATT, M-A-T-T, for 10% off. It is pinned to the top of chat, is in the description of the video. And let's see if the market had any coffee this morning. It didn't, because we're not really going anywhere yet. But it would be nice if it had maybe an extra cup of coffee. This is what happens when you don't drink coffee in the morning. The market just ends up going nowhere, and then your computer freezes. So if you want to avoid this, where we have apparently a very, very choppy open, you'll know what's up. You'll trade it as anticipated. What is this? Why is this not? I thought this was supposed to fire already. If I'm being completely honest, I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit scared, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Maybe these will start firing at an appropriate time. I mean, I have them all enabled, right? I don't know what's happening here. I guess patience. I guess patience is a virtue. I do want to remind everyone that at 9:45, we have two macroeconomic reports. Then at 10 a.m., we have another macroeconomic report. And then at 1 p.m., we have another one. So it goes PMI numbers, it goes new home sales, and then it goes Treasury auction. In that order, 9:45, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., all Eastern, all New York time. That is what's going down today. And I have no clue why, but nothing else is trading for me. We got these big bangers out of the gate, 3K, 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 3K. Then the wheel versus you guys both hit for 135. So right now, actually, the chat is up quite a bit more. So that's not a bad deal whatsoever. Up 1.6K, 1.1K. So you guys are kind of crushing it. I didn't know you guys were up that much. And then other than that, these have not been really trading. I don't know what's going on. I thought they would have traded. I'm confused on why they didn't. And I guess I'll just awkwardly sit here and see if they ever do. I do have the audio on, so I guess we could go back just in case we hear something. I really thought they were going to trade in a bullish direction. I mean, these are all on, right? What the fuck? Hello? 100% these things were supposed to trade. I don't even think there's anything I can necessarily do right now. I don't know. I guess I could attempt to manually trade them, but that seems particularly dangerous. Yeah, none of this fired when it should have. So that's negative. That's negative. So maybe I just remain intelligent today and then come back to the drawing board tomorrow on that one. Or I could just let it rip it. That's always another solid option of mine, is just lit it completely. I don't know why. I'm like looking at it and it ran 2 days ago, but it's saying it didn't run yesterday. So it must have been something with like one of my flags. Maybe I just had a did trade, didn't trade flag that was off and like it just didn't run properly. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that one. And now this is frozen. Everything, just nothing wants to work for me today. Damn, that's a bit of a bummer. I was hoping that those accounts would really trade today, and I think they would have made decent money too. I don't really know. I'm sure I'll figure it out, and then I'll just be more frustrated. Bonds are actually dipping a little bit, but Bitcoin's going up. Interesting. So Bitcoin a bit up, bonds a bit down, and thus far the market, I would argue, somewhat indecisive. All right, stocks rise for a second day as earnings season ramps up. All right, the Dow's up, 5 things to know. The market's already open, but recovering. GM beat, losing streak, Tesla getting destroyed. They report after the market closes today. Not feeling the best about it. I do like Tesla in the long run, but it's just right now, it's a very interest rate sensitive company. And right now with interest rates remaining pretty high, a lot of people aren't buying. Speaking of Bitcoin, Bitcoin's holding. It's having a decent push at 66,000. I guess Dave Portnoy, who's kind of has an on again, off again relationship with crypto, he is now officially in the world of crypto, but it looks like it's more of a partnership officially with Kraken.
They obviously Kraken. They survived all hit the FTX crap that went down. They've one of the longest exchanges. So you can do, and again, as I said earlier, I am still not somebody, I would lose my wallet if I did the direct wallet. So Kraken's easy, quick to use. And I feel safe with it, which is a lot. So that's where my 10 Bitcoins, like I said, I'm going to end up doing a lot more Bitcoin, and I feel comfortable using Kraken.
Now, when you say doing a lot more Bitcoin, is this something where you plan to buy, spend, invest? What does it look like?
Just buy.
What does it look like for you? Just buy. Okay.
Like what you said with buy. I own all of Barstool again. So I would put Bitcoin on the ledger.
Okay.
Maybe
kind of has the vibe that he just learned what those terms meant. Like, yeah, I'd put it on the ledger.
Extra money, which I think is a good place to do for
the ledger
Bitcoin.
thing.
I also want to hold some forever. So I guess I have my personal and the business side. But again, I got to wait for a dip. Don't even say it, but I am going to wait for a dip.
I think that's actually pretty reasonable to wait for a dip. Like, well, you don't have to buy at highs. Technically, it's not at a high right now. It has taken more than a 10% drop from the high. So it's more of the nuance of how are we defining dip versus not a dip type of a thing. But speaking of that, Bitcoin's popping. And in the meantime, here, let me see if I, in real time, can fix whatever my particular code issue is. New editor. All right, I'm going to see if in real time I can fix whatever my code issue is. All right, first reality check. 9:30, 9:10. Next. Is time greater than the start of the day? It is. Enter position, enter position. Set profit target, set profit target, set stop loss, set stop loss. What would be wrong in my code right now? All right. It's time. Default. Oh, found it. Found the issue. Found it. Found it. Typo. Found it. All right. Found it. All right, I just recompiled the code. It was a typo. I was basically saying the close had to be less than the close, which is impossible because the close is the close. So there's that one. And now let's see if I somehow shot myself in the foot changing this code when it would have already technically run on the day. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'll get horrifically unlucky. You never really know with these types of things. Sometimes you just have to rip some code live while you're streaming, update it, and hopefully it does work for you. Hopefully we see if this can really get going here. Are you guys still really fighting about evolution? It's kind of interesting that... Hang on. Is this going to fire? Have you considered testing your code? No. Testing code is for babies. Testing your code is for babies. Very, very much for babies. Dude, why is this not? Do I have to unenable and re-enable everything to get this to run? For big babies. Damn. Huh. I have an idea. Okay. Everyone hear me out. This is a little bit crazy, but it's crazy enough it might just work. It's crazy enough it might just work. Hang on. Stick with me. Hang on. We could do this. We can save this. Time. We can save it. We can save this as long as I can type fast enough. All right. I think I got it in time. So I switched it. Instead of 9:30, it now runs at 9:45 and it's 9:44:21. So I think I am good. I think I am Gucci. I think I have figured out the issue and we'll go from there. We will go from there. So if there's some crazy movement at 9:45, it might help me. It might completely screw me. I'm not really fully sure. But we're gonna see. We are gonna see. Should I switch this one? All right. We'll run this for a second. If it doesn't run on this point, I'm not 100% sure what I'll do. There might be a more prevalent issue if it doesn't run.
Order submitted.
Hey, something's working. Folks, we're getting somewhere.
Order
What's going?
submitted.
Is it working?
Target filled.
All right, bring it in. Bring that money in. I like it. I like to hear it.
Order submitted.
Let's go.
Order submitted.
Something's going.
Target filled. Target filled. Target filled. Target filled.
Oh, did you guys? Oh, disgusting. is he the best to ever do it? Fucking like a butter, folks. Like freaking butter. Has that been done before? Has that? Oh, Mom, did you know you gave birth to the best fucking trader ever? Mom? Oh, dude. When things like that happen, it is evidence that evolution is real. I am so obviously an evolved being relative to so many of you watching right now. If I get it, oh, my biology book said this, but my Bible said this, that. Folks, if you need definitive evidence that evolution is real, look at what's going on in my noggin. I am leagues past so many people trying to trade right now. I'm so far past so many of you. And you think that we're of the same species? You think that we're the exact same thing? Do you see what just happened? It just doesn't make sense. The writing's on the wall. The litmus test just doesn't make sense, folks. I'm on another league. I'm effectively an alien to most people trading. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense like that. To think that we're the same, dude, wild. Well, I should probably shut it down before I somehow mess it up, to be completely honest. So that's all right. I'll take my thousands of dollars and go now. Time for me to move on with my life. We'll shut this down. We'll save it. See, that's what you do. You make the money. And you move on with your life. After the day I had yesterday, your boy needed that chunk of change. So crushed it. Market did break above the high on that. Obviously, got lucky with that news. But hey. Can you only trade once a day with each Apex? No, you could trade as much as you want, but I find that I do better when I keep myself limited. When I kind of have an unlimited thing, I just fire from the hip too much. So I've noticed that when I limit my upside and when I limit my downside per day, I find in the long run, it's actually better for me. Obviously, the market popping right there on some PMI stuff. But yeah, you could trade as much as you want. You definitely can. I just choose not to. When is my wedding? It's in October, which that means that you guys are going to have to get mentally prepared. I want you guys to get mentally prepared that we're probably going to have to take some time off at some point in October when I go on my honeymoon. So do whatever emotionally and mentally you need to do right now to not have me in your life for like 1 to 2 weeks in October. So I don't know if you want to put it on your calendar. I don't know if you want to set up some extra calls with your therapist, psychologist. I don't know if you just want to come on the honeymoon with me, but however you want to handle it, you should do that. So like maybe we all take a break from the market. Maybe we all go on a honeymoon together. I think my fiance would probably be angry, my completely real fiance, but it would also be funny. And then it's a tax write-off. Honestly, if I get a couple of 1,000 of you to come with me, that at that point, it is literally a business write-off. So it would actually help me if you guys came. I would just be like, yeah, no, that's a business expense. Can we come to the honeymoon with you? No, I want you. I'm actually asking all of you to come with me on it. Put me on the list. Yeah. Right now, and this isn't locked in, this isn't written into stone, this isn't sketched in the stone, if you will. But right now, we're heavily leaning towards Hawaii. And we're going to be probably splitting it up half and half, like half a resort, beach, ocean, chill, like just drink in a nice environment. And then the other half is probably going to be more of a hiking thing, like a volcano hiking, a lot more active, maybe a little bit of skydiving, maybe a little bit of snorkeling, maybe a little bit of like Jurassic Park ATVing. So like half is relaxing, half is going to be more of like an exploration thing. So that's what we're thinking about. That's what we're thinking about. And if you guys came, it would actually save me money. It would save me. Can we get matching shirts? Oh, that would be a requirement. 100% we would have that. That's how we know who's in our group with us. You have to. That's the only way it would work. You were married to us first. Never forget that. Well, to be fair to my completely real girlfriend at the time, I was dating her before I even had a YouTube channel. I mean, my completely real girlfriend, she's been real for like 8 years now, almost. Eight years, which, have you guys known me for 8 years? You guys have known me for 3 or 4. Is Matt's wife evolved? I don't know. I could ask her. I think she is, and I fear that she might be more evolved than I am, because I feel like she like psychologically tricks me into things. Like, oh, Matt. It was like she has this like dirty trick where she'll thank me and compliment me for something that I didn't do yet. She'll be like, Matt, that was so incredibly kind that you undid the dishwasher. I've had such a stressful day. And when I came home, and the fact that you did that, that was so kind and caring of you. And then I'll think to myself, like, I didn't do the fucking dishwasher. And then I'll look, and I did undo the dishwasher. And then I quickly rush to do it because I want to keep all those adulations. So I think she's on another like psychological plane than me, where she kind of, I don't know, gets me to do things that I wasn't going to do. And I think it's just like kind of higher end gaslighting. She very much lights my gas, but it's in like a 4D, 5D chess way, where I'm like, oh, like I should do that because you did have a stressful day. So it's strange, but apparently I'm at like the negative end of it, the bottom of the totem pole. So if you guys want to employ that type of stuff in your own life, I highly recommend it. Evolve beyond you. That's what it feels like. It really does. If I'm being honest, it does. Is she from Pennsylvania? Yeah. She's a completely real person from Pennsylvania. As some refer to it, the Keystone State. Did you dance around and sing Told You when becoming a YouTuber actually worked? No. So from the get-go, you have to remember also the Rona lockup period just started. So I basically, right when the world shut down, that's when I created a YouTube channel. So it was actually a really, really strange growth process, because she was literally locked in a 1-bedroom apartment with me every single day, paying attention to me, writing, scripting, filming, freaking out, being angry, being happy, big swing of emotions. She witnessed like every single second of it. And then even when my career a year later, quote unquote, took off, at that point we had moved, but we were still in a smaller place together. So she witnessed that. And no. It was definitely never a I told you thing. I think it was more of she was probably, if not as excited, even more excited than me, because she like witnessed all the trials and tribulations throughout the whole thing. And it was just wild. I was reflecting upon that the other day. I don't necessarily know if I would have been a quote unquote successful content creator if it wasn't for the Rona period, because I don't know if there was another portion in my life where I could have done something for so long and literally have seen no success. It took me almost an entire year to get an inkling, a modicum of success. And the only reason I kept at it, quote unquote, is because I was locked inside. I had nothing to do. I couldn't go outside. The gyms were shut down. I couldn't hang out with friends. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't see my family. Like, I was literally locked inside. So I don't know if I would have necessarily had that perseverance to do something literally for in excess of 14 hours a day for an entire year straight with no success, because like sometimes life is fun and you're invited to go hang out with your friends and you're going on vacation and you're doing this, that, the other thing. I had no other option, whatsoever. Matt, you're just a simple caveman. That reminds me of some just truthful statements, you know? Sometimes you just got to get a little lost to get a little found. Sometimes you got to get a little lost to get a little found. Anyway, If you want to get jacked up, if you want to wake up the way the market is, check out 1775 Coffee Co. They are the official partner of today's stream. They are the exclusive coffee partner with Rumble. Check them out. Use the code Matt, M-A-T-T, to get 10% off. They have medium roast, dark roast, peaberry. They also now have some cognitive supplements, so check that out. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. High quality coffee from a high quality company that actually gives a shit about you. Shout out to 1775 Coffee Co. And on that note, I'm going to switch some things over to Kalshi just because we have some earnings coming up and I want to chit chat about that. I want to chit chat, patty whack about that. All right. I'm pinning it to the top of chat right now. If I can figure this out. I wonder, can I pin this? Will this work? Pin. Nope. Stop commenting on Rumble. I need to find mine and pin it. Pin. You guys are commenting too much. Stop. Well, no, I can't comment on it. Anyway, Kalshi. It's a binary betting environment. So like, yeah, you could bet on things like the market, like the above, below, but you could also bet on quote unquote more exciting things like Tesla delivery numbers, challengers, like the Rotten Tomato scores. You could bet on Billboard. Like you could just bet on a lot of different things above or below. And right now with, where is financials? And once again, it's called Kalshi, Kalshi, companies. Is this one it? Congress passes law to force TikTok sale, 97% chance. U.S. bans TikTok this year. Best LMM Tesla deliveries this quarter. Which banks will do layoffs? You can bet on a ton of different things. Check it out. As soon as you deposit $50, you'll get $20 of betting credit. So basically, you have $20 of free bets to see if this is for you or not. But you can bet on a lot of fun things, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention, especially because we are in earnings season. Like Netflix subscriber growth this quarter is above 6 million. They just hit 9. I feel like that one's Linda Yaccarino leaves X. Tesla robo taxi public release before 2026. So you could do some longer term bets as well. For me, I like some basic ones. For example, S&P's closing price today. So where is the S&P 500? SPX. We are at 5,048. So I'm going to ask you guys, do you think it's above or below 5,050? Above or below 5,050? I'll take this bet right now, real time in front of you. So here's the SPX. It's the S&P 500 trading at 5,046. Are we going to keep going, or do you think we get smacked? Do you think we're going to keep going, or do you think we're going to get smacked? And this is for today, so it'll just be whatever today's settlement price is. Below, above. Okay, how about someone tells me who's like been spot on and has like a good understanding of the market? Above, BTC is evolving above. Rory Murphy says above, and he seems like a pretty trustworthy dude. So I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to buy 20 of these. So basically it's a 50-50 bet. And we'll see how it goes. 20 contracts, so it cost me about $10 because the contract is the current trading fee. And if you're right, so you pay what the current price is, and your winning is a leftover. So if you pay 49, that means you could potentially win 51 cents per contract. If you pay 80, you could potentially win 20. So you just go up to $1. So you're paying whatever the current fee is, and then your winnings are the leftover to the dollar. That's how this binary betting works. So if you pay 18, that means you stand to win 82. But then also it's telling you that the chance of it happening is about 18%. So obviously the higher odds, the less the payout. The lower odds, the better the payout. And that's exactly why when you go higher up, you're going to pay less. You're only paying 18 cents per contract, but then you would win 82. And right here, since we're roughly at the money, that's why it's about 50-50. So if I buy 20 contracts, they'll cost me 49 each. So it's about $10. And the market's actually going down a little bit. Do I want to take this bet right now? Yeah, why not? Win in Rome. Adam, he is a trustworthy dude. So review order, submit, done. And then when you have it, it's in your portfolio. And These are all my current bets. I'm betting on the Fall Guy, Rotten Tomatoes above 85. I'm actually seeing that movie this week. I'm betting on the number of hurricanes this year. I'm saying below 12. I'm saying no to above 12. So I'm saying 12 or below. S&P 500, that's the bet I just placed. And then will the Tortured Poets Department be the Billboard's album of the year? I said yes. I'm not feeling good about this one. I listened to the album, and I just don't know if it's necessarily going to beat out Beyonce now that I've listened to it. So I feel like not the best about this particular bet. But anywho, feel free to check it out. If you want the link, if you want the $20 of credit, just follow that link. It's in the description. It's pinned. And there's a lot of things you could bet on. Obviously music, you could bet on companies and their numbers. You can bet on the market. The markets you can bet on are the S&P 500, Bitcoin, oil, the settlement prices. So there's daily stuff. Then there's longer term things like, will there be a robo-taxi network by 2026? You could bet on Fed rate numbers. So if you've been looking to bet on like more of the nuanced things like inflation coming in hot or cold, this is the place where you can directly bet on it if that's of interest to you. All right, what time is it? It's just past 10 now. Just past 10 now. Just past 10. All right, we're setting up some alerts for breakdowns and breakouts. I guess we have a half hour's worth of range. Half hour's worth of range. All right. So I set up those alerts so we know if we're breaking down or breaking out. For those of you in Discord, as soon as Piper fires, I will obviously let you know. And then also, what is today's date? Today is the 23rd. I believe it's the 23rd all day, I want to say. But feel free to fact check me on that one. Feel free to fact check me on that one. Feel free. Okay. Right now, snapshot, 5-minute bullish on the S&P 500, 10-minute bullish, 30-minute bullish, and even the daily now has an up range bar. On the NASDAQ, 5-minute bullish, 10-minute bullish, 30-minute bullish, and even the daily. So right now, I would very much argue that the bulls are in control. And I do want to show you something cool that I was fortunate enough to be able to speak with the Spot Gamma team yesterday, and they showed me something interesting that I wanted to share with all of you. Where is it? Here we go. So right here, the options risk reversal. Spot camera. Okay. The TLDR is when you see this trending down, when it's trending down, that means more puts are being purchased than calls. When you see it trending up, that means you have more calls being purchased than puts. So what's interesting is right here on a relative basis, there's not that many puts being bought. So even in the market's like dip right here from basically all of April, the April dip, even with that craziness, we can quantifiably see that the options market has actually not been getting that bearish. Yeah, there's some spurts right here, like, okay, more puts. Remember, like the best way to think about this is the deeper it is, the more bearish it is. The higher it is, so like right here, we had periods where it was particularly high, like at the end of the year, like December, that was going to be like just complete bullishness. So the deeper it is, that's a lot of bearishness. So you could see these spikes. January 29th, right here, 2021. Well, we all know that was happening there. So you could see certain dips, and these are very, very bearish. So then when it's high, it's very, very bullish. So just to give you, I guess, more of a realistic time frame, right here, things on a relative basis, we're zoomed in. Okay, so on a bigger basis, we're really not that bearish. But even this, like, look how bullish the market was back on 326. Then fast forward to halfway through this month, things got a bit bearish, but even now, it's starting to go back up. This part right here, I hope you can see it. Yeah, okay, my head isn't blocked. I was worried that my head was blocking it during this whole explanation. You can see that the options market is actually getting a bit more bullish. As it goes up, that is bullish. So this is for the SPX. Let's look at what's happening in the NDX. Similar thing. So right here, you have a recent bounce in the world of tech. So that's a cool bounce to see. And then if you want to, oops, how do I zoom out? There we go. Once again, on a relative basis, you can see that the market overall is still pretty bullish. So as much as there's like doomsday talk when these types of things happen, please understand that there's a certain media effort to push one narrative, but then there's fact and reality and measurable numbers. And the fact and the reality and the measurable numbers are telling us that, like, yeah, okay, like people got a little scared there, but overall, it's still pretty bullish. It's still pretty freaking bullish. And then for those of you who just want to see the final look at the small cap sector, is this loading? Hang on, let me reload. I don't know what I just did there. Maybe I should look at it with IWM. It's interesting last night when I was going through this to see all the differences. Well, okay, it's a little bit dark. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but you can see once again that it's going to the upside, as in the bulls are still pretty much dominating in the three major industries that people are paying attention to. Let's see what the scanner is telling us today. Squeeze scanner, Affirm, Jimmy, JetBlue, Lulu, Netflix, and Riot. Whoa. Well, that's kind of interesting. Netflix. What's going on with old Netflix? Well, enchanté. What's happening there? Why is Netflix getting? Why is old Netflix? Oh, I'm on Netflix, right? I just want to double check that I'm not losing my mind. I mean, the prices seem roughly right. Hero. Here's Netflix's numbers. Upper end communication services. So there's a hedge wall at 560 and we're popping up. It popped up. So right here, the calls and the puts, people are getting calls and getting out of their puts and it's going flat. And there's a hedge wall at 560. Implied volatility. So right now, they're kind of cheaper. Premium. This isn't the most crazy time to actually get calls on Netflix because premium's cheap and it's just on top of a hedge wall. Just on top of a hedge wall. And the volatility is actually a little bit lower. Not if you have a bullish bias on Netflix, mathematically, this is not a bad time to be getting calls. The calls on a relative basis are cheap. Especially for 510. What's going on with Netflix? This, honestly, if you have a bullish bias, reasonable risk to reward, you could play it off of this recent low. That's, I mean, the options, what's going on? Cues are breaking out. All right. Piper did a fire. Yes. Here, let me copy and paste. It is the 23rd. Let me double check the numbers. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. If you're in the Discord, Piper's signal just fired. I should probably take a trade myself today. What do I want to do it on? All right. The expected movement is 25 points. Expected movement, 25 points. Blah, 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 blah. All right. What do I want to do? 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 Blah, blah, blah. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? We dipping a little bit there. I haven't placed my trade yet. I don't know necessarily how I want to handle this. All right, let's see if mine gets filled. I threw in an order. I'm reaching a little bit. I kind of want a better value because I don't necessarily like need to trade today, especially after the shit day I had yesterday. Orders working. All right, I have a working order. Nope. Trying to chase it a little bit right now. Widespread. Okay, my position just got filled. I had to chase it to the tune of 5 cents, which, hey, that's not the worst thing, you know? Not the worst thing here. If you are in the Discord, I am screenshotting it right now. Pretty much perfectly in line with Piper. I didn't deviate the way I did yesterday. I deviated, for those of you who know about like Piper, what I'm doing, I decided to take a different trade and I got fucked. I got royally fucked. I just want to make sure I did this right. Okay, it's in there. So I'm kind of done on the day, honestly, at this point. So all of the bot stuff fired, crushed it. There was a little bit of a concern because the code a little bit sketchy, but it ended up working out. So, hey, awesome. So that crushed. The code crushed. You guys crushed it. The wheel crushed it. I threw in my options trade. I think we're good, dude. I think this is a money-making day. To give you guys a quick recap, 5-minute bullish, 10-minute bullish, 30-minute bullish, 5-minute bullish on the NASDAQ, 10-minute bullish, 30-minute. I see no reason to be bearish right now. If you are a short-term trader, obviously I'm talking about like what happens today. I don't see why you would want to be bearish today. If the bulls are in control, and I personally prefer to trade with trend. Obviously, there are good mean reversion systems like outside the Keltner channel, outside of the Bollinger. Actually, this might be a good time to explain some of that stuff. So let me turn this off, give you guys an idea of some other potential systems that you might give a shit about. Okay, so let me go to the, pick a stock, Tesla, something like Tesla. So I put this technical indicator on the channel right now is called the Keltner channel. And if you look at it, it has a multiplier. So basically you're looking at the ATR and then you're multiplying it up and down by a certain multiple. So basically right here, you're taking the average true range and you're looking at the closing value of each bar for whatever time frame you're on. And then that's your midline. And then to get the top line and the bottom line, that's what the multiplier is for. So, okay, not too crazy mathematics there. And it just kind of gives you an idea of, relative to this average movement, are you in an extreme situation? And you could argue, yeah, right here this morning you were. Look at Tesla. Broke below, kind of got back in and kept dying. And then people like to use this to, as soon as you get that close back in, to try to play to the midline. So basically what I'm saying, one thing that you might be interested in is, okay, this close right here at 141.47 after vomiting, first close back within the cloud, and then people like to target the other side of the cloud or even the midline. So you would have been in at 141.47, and then you could have got out when this bar closed above at 142.35. So that's a type of a mean reversion. Mean reversion as in you have an extreme movement and you're looking for it to come back to some sort of medium. So another one would be right here on the opposite side of we push, we're outside the average movement. We're outside. Then we finally close back in. So you would take a short position right here, 145.04, and then you would target this midline, which it kind of barely got it. So that might have been a tough one, but at 144.42. So another nice, 60 plus cents right there. So this is one of the, I would argue that there's various forms of popular trading. Another one right here, we push to the outside, close right back in, came right to the midline. Obviously, if you do it, you want some sort of risk. You might want to just risk the recent extreme. So for example, if you took the long position here, maybe you just risk that. So it would have been close, but we double bottomed, and on the very next bar, you would have hit it. If you took this short position up here at whatever it was, 145.04. If you want, you need to have established risk somewhere. You would be risking 145.70. So you're just trying to play it down and that you have established risk. I would never go into something with no risk. That is how you can very much get into trouble. But anyway, these are mean reverting trades, as in you have an extreme movement to the upside or to the downside, and you're looking for it to revert. So if you go down, you're looking for it to bounce. If it goes up, you're looking for it to fall. Mean reversion. Another whole form is trend following. So basically, maybe a better example of this is, okay, the 10-minute is going up, so you're looking for that trend to continue. So you're seeing it goes up, takes a bit of a breather. So basically, when you're doing trend following, you're kind of looking at two different time frames, because in the bigger time frame, you want to see an established trend. In the smaller time frame, you want to see a quick reversion where you can get in for a better price. So obviously, right here, the trend's to the upside, clearly to the upside. But in the shorter time frame, little bit of a dip. So you could take advantage of the longer time frame by getting in on this dip and hoping that the bigger time frame trend continues. So you're trading with trend. So you have mean reversion, you have trend following. Those are the major two. There are other things. Arbitrage. Not many retail traders are getting involved in the world of arbitrage. Those are mean reverting and trend following are the two most popular. Also trade and pray is a popular one, where you just throw on a random position and you pray to the market gods it works out. That's probably my go-to one. I very much like that, where I just throw on a position, start ripping a couple prayers and hope that I make money. That's another really, really popular strategy. You have arbitrage, as I alluded to. Couple things going on there, but just something to consider. Why not be a little didactic? We spent $13 billion in Los Angeles alone last year to combat homelessness. Where did all that money go?
We spent $13 billion in Los Angeles alone last year to combat homelessness. You want to know where that money went? That money went to these trash nonprofits who have a bunch of executives making $500,000 a year. You're working for a nonprofit dealing with homelessness.
Did she get
That's
red
my
pill?
money. That's my parents' money. That is the hardworking people of California paying incredibly high taxes that go to what? So yeah, I'm sick of it. And honestly, just experiencing what I've seen on the ground in California has made me question
It's a failed
lot.
state.
We spent $13 billion.
It's a bold statement, but I'll state it. California is obviously, it's a failed state, man. It's just their policies are lunacy. It's a bunch of lunatics. The insane, what's the saying? The insane asylum members, they're running it. That's what it feels like. Yeah. California. It's sad. It's sad. Free Matt Kim. We are seeing in Australia, New Zealand is coming to Canada if we do not speak up. The Australian government now believes the worldwide jurisdiction to censor content. Joining Free Matt Kim today to discuss governments are coming after our human rights. Jesus. I saw something. What is this one? Excuse me. I saw something about, is it an Australian ladies? Someone was taking shots at Elon Musk and basically saying he shouldn't be able to have free speech. Does anyone have the link to that by weird chance? It was this lady, a brunette lady, who was basically saying Elon Musk is a huge risk because he promotes free speech. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Or am I just losing my mind? I might be losing my mind, but here, I'll try to find it, but I don't want to lose this one. Here, I'll like this so I can come back to it. Is this it? Nope. I'm sure it has to pop up at a certain point, right? It has to be popular. I hope, or maybe it's just a random thing that here, this one. This one.
Elon Musk has no social conscience or conscience whatsoever. I don't know, whatever Elon Musk is on, it says that that's okay to continue to air that is absolutely disgusting behaviour. And quite frankly, the bloke should be jailed. And the sooner that we can bring rules in or do something about this sort of game playing with our social media, the better off we're going to be. But quite frankly, the power that man has, because of that platform that he's on, it's got to stop. It has absolutely got to stop. Elon Musk has no social
Dude feels like she's ripping a page out of fucking Hitler's book there of just, hey, jail him because he allows people to say what's on their mind. So that is jail worthy. Also, accent cool though. I don't want to completely shit on her because I do like the accent. I think that's fun. But barring the accent, that's scary. That's particularly scary. Now, what was the thing I just liked that I said we should come back to? This one. Is this from today? I don't know if this is new or if it's from last night. It might be from this morning of Trump going into court. What?
So thank you very much. It's a big day in Pennsylvania, and we hope the people get out there and vote. It's important to vote to let them know that we're coming on November 5th. We're coming big. Today is very preliminary, but still it's very important, and maybe they'll think also about a very good person who's running for the Senate in Pennsylvania, Dave McCormick, and he's doing a good job. He's working very hard, successful man, wants to put his success to the country. He'll be a very good senator, so hopefully they'll be behind Dave and get out there and vote today. So Pennsylvania, get out and vote. What's going on at the college level and the colleges, Columbia, NYU, and others, is a disgrace. And it's really on Biden. He has the wrong signal. He's got the wrong tone. He's got the wrong words. He doesn't know who he's backing. And it's a mess. And if this were me, he'd be after me. He'd be after me so much, but they're trying to give him a pass. But what's going on is a disgrace to our country, and it's all Biden's fault, and everybody knows it. He's got no message. He's got no compassion. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't put two sentences together, frankly. He is the worst president in the history of our country. And again, what's going on is a disgrace. Now, it's interesting outside for great Americans, people that want to come down and they want to protest at the court, and they want to protest peacefully. We have more police presence here than anyone's ever seen. For blocks, you can't get near this courthouse. And yet you have nobody up at a college where you have very radical people wanting to rip the colleges down, the universities down. And that's a shame. But
we talked about Columbia earlier.
The signals he puts out are so bad. And I can tell you, he's no friend of Israel, that's for sure. And he's no friend of the Arab world either. You take a look at what he said. He's no friend of, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. He wants to take like a middle ground, and oftentimes that doesn't work, but it's certainly not working here. But what he's done to Israel is abandon them. And he's trying to be as nice as he can to the other side. Call it the Arab world, but that's not working either because they get him. And he's an incompetent man. Peace will never happen with a guy like this. Thank you very much.
I wonder how long he's actually going to be tied up in court for. What do we have? The PMI numbers came out. Bitcoin halving. Your average Rumble hater, fake free speech, and anti-censorship supporter.
YouTube is censoring everything. F YouTube. YouTube's a psyop. YouTube works for the government. YouTube terrible. YouTube suppressing all my favorite creators. What Rumble? Rumble's not doing that? But it doesn't have like one feature that YouTube has, so I'm totally not willing to switch platforms at all. My YouTube channel might lose 10% of my overall revenue. I'm not going to go to Rumble, but please rally for me when YouTube strikes my videos down.
Pretty funny. The disturbing rise of anti-white TikToks.
Garlic goblin ranch roach.
A wake-up call for white allies.
White women are extremely obsessed with black women.
Just don't have babies.
So you want white people to cease to exist.
You say the N-word without saying the N-word. Race baiter, race grifter.
Racial caste system in which white-bodied individuals are the oppressor class.
Come under my video and say, Lord, may I please have your permission to say something.
Hey guys, it's Misha and welcome back to my channel.
White-bodied individuals. Or as I like to call them, crackers. Wait, can I get canceled for saying racist things about my own race? Can I get in trouble for saying crackers? I don't really know the rules on this one. I feel like I should be able to say cracker, but is that somehow racist if I say... I'm going to need... What's the chat's vote on that one? Am I allowed to say it or no? As a white-bodied individual, I don't know what line it's on. Mayo monkey. Mayo monkey. Wonder Bread. Chalk demon. A vanilla gorilla. Oh, we're definitely gonna get canceled now. I thought we were pushing the line with cracker. I'm a professional. Let's stop. Folks, we have a show to run. Butter like body. All right. Hey, we're professionals here. You guys did send us some things to react to. Oh, man. Where are we at? What is this one? Oh, I did like this. I wanted to show it to you. All right. The typical American family.
The typical American family is paying $11,434 more for the same exact standard of living that you had.
Gotta pump those numbers
when Joe
up,
Biden
baby.
took office. The median priced home is up 80 to 100% during his 3 years. Gasoline for your car, it's up 60%. Food costs are up 21%. Electricity, 28%. Rent is up 20%. And the price of eating out is up 21% on average. When a business has to spend more time answering government bureaucrats about how diverse it is or what it's doing for climate change, that costs money. Joe Biden declared war on fossil fuels. That means we went from being energy independent during the Trump years to again begging Middle East and South American adversaries for oil. And it's not just
I feel like that
costing
one
you
has to
more
be
at the
fact checked.
pump. It costs more for the farmer to run his tractor, and
That's
then
true.
for the truck to take his crops to the processor, and then for more trucks to get
Inflation,
the finished products
baby.
to the store. And oh, by the way, it costs the store more money to keep the lights going. And because Democrat prosecutors stopped prosecuting people who are robbing and shoplifting the stores,
Also true.
all those losses get passed on to you.
Life, not fun. We just listened to that one. LA, we are a country in decline.
So I hear we're calling money laundering foreign aid now. $95 billion aid package, 60 of that going to Ukraine. But apparently we can't afford a $5 billion border wall. Okay, yeah, last time I checked, Ukraine wasn't the 51st state. It's astonishing that in 2024, we are compelled to discern whether politicians prioritize their own country's interests or the interests of others.
We don't have to discern. They do prioritize other countries.
We are now waving the flag of another nation on the House floor. So I hear we're calling money laundering.
That was pretty wild when they were all waving a Ukrainian flag. The person filming this video was not trying to get coffee. They repeatedly and viciously harassed Alec Baldwin and refused to leave the establishment when asked by the staff. There's no evidence they were attacked. White devil Alec Baldwin attacked me while I was trying to get coffee. Are they harassing him over killing that lady?
Alec, can you please stay free Palestine one time? Why did you kill that lady? Why?
That's annoying. I'm not saying he's in it right, but to do that, shove a camera in his face, fuck her. Chinese Elon Musk gives the forecast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Elon Musk. The weather today is good. Never give up. Never give up, you team. I love you. Wow.
Whenever that guy does anything, I can't keep it together. There's nothing that guy can do that like I'd be able to keep a straight face. Like just the way he starts every video, the way like it's so fucking funny.
Hi everyone, I'm Elon Musk.
It gets me every time. Someone used AI to impersonate Aiden Ross, convincing a fan into breaking their PC setup.
For a shout out.
For a shout out? Damn.
Right now, yeah, for a shout out, right now. Don't worry, man. Punch the shit out of it right now. Do it. More, break it.
Yo, bro.
More. Punch it. Stand up and punch it. Stand up.
Yeah.
Oh. More. Do it more.
Yo, it's black. It's done.
Are people just stupid?
Gross. I need my shit.
Dude, some people are just so dumb. So dumb. I want perfect for a pro-Hamas Palestine roadblock, the latest in self-defense. The trunk monkey.
What's coming out and get you some, huh? Where are you gonna go now? Well, you can't speed up by anybody now. You think you're better than me? Well, you think
a literal trunk monkey.
The trunk monkey, a revolutionary idea.
All right, back in the trunk.
Hey!
You little.
What? How did they ever get budget for this?
The trunk monkey, the revolutionary idea you'll only find one place.
Where'd you find this place?
Hey! You know it costs a lot to park here.
I'm not gonna pay you any money.
Well, then you're gonna pay another way.
Oh, yeah?
The Trunk Monkey Samurai Edition.
That's my trunk monkey.
Why does it sound racist? Casino gamblers. He's reading a D-Gen magazine.
The Trunk Monkey Theft Retrieval System.
What was this for? You're saying it was for a car dealership? A car dealership's like, dude, we have the best idea. How did this ever? Dude, the 90s were wild. Probably early 2000s. Imagine waking up to this.
You want to know something that pisses me off and just, it'll never make sense to me? How in the mother fucking hell do we get to the moon, but I can't get service in the middle of one of America's largest cities? Like, I'm on a phone call and I'm like, but I could FaceTime a mother in China? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. We got self-driving cars on the freeway, but I can't get service in the middle of Phoenix, Arizona? Make it make sense! You want to know something?
Well, the answer to that's pretty simple. We just never actually went to the moon. Like, I think she's starting at an invalid truth. It's just not, it's a made up fact. We just never went. So she's comparing it to something that's not a true, fair comparison. I can face some motherfucker. John. Yeah, market's popping, team. Market's pippity popping. Pippity poppin'. I might be taking my profits soon. Well, it looks like this bet worked out. The call sheet bet worked out. Did anyone else take this call sheet bet? Which one was it? This one right here. So I'm already up 47% on the call sheet bet. That's pretty sick. Does Matt own a car? Dude, I own a Toyota Corolla that I guarantee you is faster than anything you've ever driven. Dude, my Toyota Corolla had like it was literally too fast for Fast and Furious. I brought the car to the Fast and Furious tryout and they're like, dude, hey man, like we're not even going to be able to capture it on the screen. This thing just rips. So hell yeah, I have a car. I have the Toyota Corolla. Corollas are sick, dude. They're the best car. Corollas are the best car. I haven't told this story in a while, but my first, well, no, that's not true. For one of my internships, I was driving down to move in and I started hydroplaning and I drove my Toyota Corolla off the road, off like a little embankment. It was like a 6-8 foot drop down to like the service road. I ripped off both bumpers. I hydroplaned, went off the road. The Corolla just like kind of almost like a cartoon, like you just hit and you're like, whoa. And both bumpers gone, ripped off, front bumper, back bumper. Dude, I called up my buddy who I was moving in with. I was like, yo, help me push this off the service road. I don't know if we should call the cops or whatever. We call the cops. It starts to rain. And we're like, dude, we don't want to wait anymore. And we waited for like a half hour. The cops never showed up. So we just pushed it off the service road, got it back onto the highway, and it drove as if nothing happened. I don't know what was going through the engineer's mind when they were inventing the Corolla. I was assuming they're like, oh, wow, we accidentally misread this and we thought you bought a contract for a vehicle that could withstand a nuclear attack, because that's what a Corolla is. You could do anything with a Corolla and it will keep going. It doesn't matter. Everything. It does not matter the assault of which you put onto a Corolla. It is good to go. It just keeps going. The engineers, I think, with respect to humanity, I think we top ticked our engineering when we came up with the Corolla. I don't know the Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking-esque brain that contrived a Toyota Corolla, but it was literally perfect mechanical engineering. It's when art meets science, and it's impressive. It is an impressive piece of machinery. It is. Why did you call the cops? Did you hit anyone? Because I went onto like a private service road and I didn't know what was, I was a dipshit kid. I don't know. They never came anyway. It's not like it mattered. No, I didn't hit anyone. I was on like a service repair road where they drive, and I was like, well, hang on. And then like we had to shimmy the gate to get out and blah, blah, blah. Basically, I was in a place where I shouldn't have been. And I thought, oh, okay, like maybe the cop will help me push my car off this road, but he didn't. I had to call my buddy, and then we just drove it, and it was perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I hope to win a Toyota Chaser within the next few years. I don't know what that is, but my heart is with Corollas. Bro, why are you turning yourself in? Dude, I don't think I broke a law. It was a legitimate accident. I hydroplaned and drove off the highway onto a road I shouldn't have been. And I thought, I mean, I had to be like 19 or something. I was like, oh, I guess I'll like call the cops and like see if they could help, because I looked around the car. I was like, oh, dude, I don't think I should be here, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't, the point, I don't know why you guys are fixating on that aspect of the story. That is not the key aspect of this particular story. Of should I or should I not have called the cops? It was a moot point because they never showed up anyway. The moral of the story is there's no better vehicle than a Toyota Corolla. And you guys, Matt's a Fed. All right, this is good. This is getting off. This is getting off the rails. This is getting off. This story is hydroplaning. The story about hydroplaning is now literally hydroplaning. So thanks, guys. Thanks for ruining my story. I appreciate it. Not bonds are starting to drop. What's going on in the options market? Options are starting to dip aggressively. So the flow alert to another flow alert. There's a hedge wall down here at 5,030. Whoa, brother. Option is flat now. What's going on? What in tarnation? Well, even though options are dipping for whatever reason, what happened there? Call profits were taken and people started buying puts. The old twofer. Call profits taken, people buying puts, obviously on just like the short time frame. This is what's happened today thus far. The white line is the price line, while the other four lines are, the top two are for calls, 0 DT and all expiration. The bottom two, the two kind of off blue ones, are for puts. Obviously, as the puts go down, that means people are buying puts. As the calls go up, that means people are buying calls. So top two lines are for 0 DT and then all expiration. Same thing for puts, 0 DT and then all expiration. So you could see ever since 10:35, people sold their calls and started buying puts. That was like the net difference. But price seems to not give a shit. Bonds have been going sideways. Bitcoin actually popped from 66 up to 67 and change. You have Coinbase that is continuing to rip today. Meta up 2.5%. NVIDIA up 3.6%. Coin's the biggest gainer on my watch list. DJT is getting hammered right now. It is down 9.9%. You have Rum that's up 0.6%. What other? Texas Roadhouse is up. Look at this. You guys want to talk about top tier stuff? Look no further than Texas Roadhouse. Do I have an inordinate amount of this equity in my long-term account? Obviously I do, because I'm a smart investor. And of course, if given the opportunity to invest in the world's best company, I'm going to. So yeah, as much as you guys think Texas Roadhouse might be a joke, you know what's a joke is the fact that I'm up thousands and thousands of dollars on the investment. Look at, this is Texas Roadhouse. This is why you never, ever, ever bet against cinnamon butter on golden buns from paradise, is because the stock, this playing Texas Roadhouse is the cheat code to the stock market. Like, you know, when we all played Grand Theft Auto and we put in all those codes and whatever, you had unlimited health or whatever, money, weapons, all that. The equivalent to that in the world of the stock market is Texas Roadhouse. It's somehow a legal pyramid scheme. You put money in and you get more money out. I just don't get it. Well, I do get it, because it actually, when you start to think about like, wait, why is it always gaining value? It's always gaining value because it's some of the best food literally known to man. So if you want to play the stock market on hard mode, play anything but Texas Roadhouse. If you want to play the stock market on easy mode, only play Texas Roadhouse. That is, I mean, if you talk to Warren Buffett, if you talk to Munger, if you brought him back from the dead, if you talk to Jesse Livermore, if you brought him back to the dead, if you talk to Ed Thorpe, if you talk to Jim Simons, if you talk to Steve Cohen, if you talk to any of these people, the one thing that they'll all agree upon, and I'm telling you, ask them, text them, call them, email them, I'm telling you, they will agree with this statement. If you want to play the stock market on easy mode, you'll play Texas Roadhouse. If you want to play it on hard mode, you'll play anything else. That is a tale as old as time, a truth well known to Wall Street experts, and I'm sharing this secret with you right now. Texas Roadhouse, it's the stock market on easy mode. Not only is it the stock market on easy mode, it is the best half rack of ribs you're going to have in your life. And on top of that, it also happens to be the best cinnamon butter, golden buns from paradise. That's just what it is. It is what it is. The hype is real. It's not even hype. It's just the popularity of Texas Roadhouse is a proper reflection of how good of an establishment it is. When you say hype, it sounds like there's more excitement relative to what it actually is. If anything, I think it's underhyped. I think the actual quality of Texas Roadhouse is far above the general public sentiment, because this thing, it's a gift from God. It's a gift from God herself. All right, what else are we missing? We did reacts. We made money. I made my trades. Oh, are we missing any breaking news today? Missing any breaking moves? Don't forget to sign up for Call Sheet if you want to do some of these binary bets. As soon as you deposit $50, you'll get $20 worth of credit, so you can bet on whatever you want. There's a ton of things going on. Markets, all events. What's closing soon? Spotify subscribers. You could bet on that. Above 241 million. Apparently you could bet on temperature. You could bet on Biden's approval rating. I'm sure you guys on Rumble would like this. Biden, the approval rating. You could just bet lower every single day and see if you're right. Stellar Blade, blah, blah, blah. Rain in New York City this month. Number of tornadoes, if we have some tornado watchers. Argentina's inflation. Rotten Tomato scores on movies. How high will Biden's 538 approval rating get by the end of the month? You could bet on everything. Fed meeting. You could take the chances of rate hikes. You could bet pretty much on anything you could think of, and probably a lot of things that you didn't even think of. I am betting on my major bet for the day, because of you guys, is the S&P 500 above 50-50. 50-50. I'm in at 49, currently trading at 69, so that's a decent percentage gain already. Market taking a little bit of a breather. Not Texas Roadhouse, though. Texas Roadhouse always knows to go up. Always knows to go to the North Star. All right. We do. Wow. Brother, options are dipping hard right now. People are aggressively buying puts and selling calls into this hole, and the price is not reacting. Look at that. Wow. Interesting. Interesting discrepancy to note, for sure. Interesting discrepancy to note, faux show. Google search boss warns employees of new operating reality, urges them to move faster. Apple sends invites to May 7th launch events, new iPads expected. Once again, May 7th, apparently we're getting new iPads. JetBlue getting destroyed today after a bad earnings. JetBlue currently down 17%. When it opened, it was actually down even worse, but down 17% right now. JetBlue getting destroyed. Trump trial. Hearing on gag order violations. David Pecker to resume testimony. Billionaire donors rethink Columbia University support amid pro-Palestine protests. Billionaire donors like Robert Kraft and Leon Cooperman are weighing their support for Columbia University as tensions rise on campus over heated pro-Palestinian protests and reports of anti-Semitic speech. Kraft said he is, quote unquote, not comfortable supporting Columbia until the administration takes harsher actions against the protests. Cooperman said he is, quote unquote, uncomfortable with the situation on campus, but plans to continue his contributions to Columbia's business school. Columbia's president now faces competing pressures from her student body, wealthy donors, and government officials, echoing similar backlash directed at the leaders of Harvard, Penn, and MIT. Well, just as a quick recap, I'm pretty sure the people leading Harvard, Penn, and MIT, they handled it so poorly that they literally had to step down. So unless Columbia's president, I don't know, realizes that the other ones were stupid and you should never bow down to the dipshit college students who have no life experience and have no fucking clue what they're talking about. Yeah, like if you're that stupid, of course you're going to lose your position. But if you're smart and saying, hey, You shouldn't be racist to anyone at all. Doesn't matter if they're from Palestine. Doesn't matter if they're Israel. Just don't be a piece of shit. Don't threaten the lives of other people on campus. It doesn't seem that difficult of a problem. And yet, allegedly, some of the world's smartest people, I assume they are if they're going to Columbia, they seem to miss the mark on that one. They seem to really, really miss the mark on that one of like how you just behave. Like they're truly surprised when calling for the death of other people gets them in trouble. They're like, we forgot. Wait, can you say that? Can you not say that? They're so silly. So they're silly geese. A bunch of silly geese. Who is Cooperman? Leon Cooperman. Should I know him? Leon Cooperman. American billionaire investor and hedge fund manager. Omega Advisors. He's the chairman and CEO of Omega Advisors, a New York-based investment advisory firm managing over $3.3 billion in assets under management. And he went to Columbia. He's 80 years old. 2 children. I guess got in trouble. Well, not much trouble. He only had to pay $4.9 million. His 2 children. I wonder if they went to Columbia. I wonder if the giving pledge, so he's giving away 99% of his wealth when he dies. So as of now, I guess he's still continuing to give money, but wait, what is this one? Speaking of billionaires, what's going on with Trump right now? Trump set for another $1.3 billion in shares he can't sell yet. Former president to get 36 million extra Trump media shares. Sweetener is set to bring Trump's stake to 4.1 billion on paper. The blank check deal that brought Donald Trump media startup public is set to give him another 1.3 billion in stock after meeting certain targets to his present windfall from the merger, yet remains unable to cash any of it. With shares of TMTG regaining steam last week, the former president and insiders are set to receive 40 million shares to split as soon as today's close after fulfilling terms related to a so-called earn-out. With 36 million of the additional shares earmarked for Trump, which would bring his total position to nearly 115 million shares and bump his holdings to roughly 65%. He owns 2/3 of the company. His stake in the Truth Social parent would be worth 4.1 billion based on Monday's closing price. Not only does the figure mark a steep decline from the 6.3 billion Trump's original position was worth in the days after the company debuted, it draws into sharp relief the fact that even as Trump and his other insiders' paper wealth grows, they are currently unable to sell any of the shares until September due to a lockup related to the deal. So September. But also, the board, I believe, can vote to change it, and he has a strong influence over the board. The sweeteners are a common part of the special purpose acquisition company deals and are designated to reward investors while diluting the value of ordinary shareholders' stakes through the issuance of millions of extra shares. So why is it going down today? It's because of this. Even with the overhang of the dilution, Trump media has attracted meme stock traders and Wall Street professionals alike. This year alone has seen shares swing between $17 and $79 with a market valuation of $5 billion, even though the underlying business generated only modest revenue last year. I think it generated like 4 million and lost 50. So that's why DJT is taking a hit today because it is being due to the deal, the de-SPACing deal, the payout. It's effectively being diluted. It is legitimately being diluted. Should the New York Stock Exchange allow 24/7 trading? A whole lot of people seem to think 24-hour trading is a good idea while ignoring the atrocious fills in after-hours trading. Several brokers seem to ignore best exempt execution requirements in after-hours, and 24/7 trading will be way worse with way less liquidity. If you say so. If you say so. All right, I'm looking to see if we missed anything else. We watched that already. Is there any other breaking news? Boring. All right, I think wait, what was this one? I don't think we watched this one yet. New format for day in the life vid just dropped.
I work at KPMG. Of course my parents think I file taxes for a living.
I work at KPMG. Of course I'm working from Croatia as part of KPMG's remote work and travel program.
Je travaille chez KPMG. Bien sûr que j'ai droit au café du meilleur Paris.
I work at KPMG. Of course I only navigate Excel through keyboard shortcuts.
I work at KPMG. Of course I got a full-time offer before I even graduated. I work at KPMG. Of course we have the best swag.
Je travaille chez KPMG. Bien sûr que tout le monde pense que je suis comptable.
I work at KPMG. Of course I have a get-to-effort for client meetings.
I work at KPMG. Of course I've been here over 10 years.
I work at KPMG. Of course I work with an awesome team of people. I work at KPMG. Of course.
That would specifically make me not want to work at KPMG. If my entire life I was like, I love KPMG, I'm going to college for it, I'm getting my MBA for it, I will work at KPMG. My daddy worked at KPMG. My daddy's daddy worked at KPMG. My daddy's daddy's daddy worked at KPMG. I love KPMG. I am KPMG. If I thought that, and my whole life was dedicated to this concept of working at KPMG, and then I saw that video, that 51-second video, I would change my life. I would 100% right there in real time, cold turkey, switch my life around on a dime, and I would never think of KPMG again, ever. Oh, this one. I wanted to share this. When I saw this, I was howling. I was dying. You guys, you're in for a treat.
My daughters will never have to work a day in their lives if they don't want to. First, they're homeschooled, so we're already preconditioning them to live their life with complete freedom, even as adults. Second, I'm teaching them the skill of day trading so they can create unlimited passive income straight from their phones, anytime, anywhere, any place. This is my daughter showing me her trades. My daughters will never have to work a day in their life.
The comments under it are the best part. Right here. My 3-year-old just got his commercial pilot's license. I'm doing the same thing with my 2-year-old son, but we're teaching him blackjack. It just goes on and on and on. Yeah. My kids, they're day traders. The average day trader loses money. It is David against Goliath. I'm not teaching them to beat the market. I'm teaching them how to flow with it. I'm a highly respected and successful trader. They are in good hands. Is this a joke? I really hope it is. Dude, I hope it's a joke too. The comments are so funny if you look at the core video. Mom, relax. It's just a complex pullback, bro. Oh, the internet. The internet, undefeated. What has the internet done that didn't work? Goonies too. Trouble on Epstein Island. So wrong, yet so funny. Trouble on Epstein Island. I guess it's not too soon. Live look at Zuck lifting the bid on NASDAQ ahead of tomorrow's earnings report. Dude, he is definitely going through quite the PR metamorphosis. All right. I think that's pretty much all the major stuff. How did UPS do? UPS out with earnings this morning. Apparently no one is shipping anything in this booming economy. Revenue. Wow. UPS's revenue is down 5.3% year over year. Earnings down 35%. Ooh. Not such a booming economy, but that's also why the economy and the stock market are two very different things. The SPY continuing higher, the Q's not far behind, coin looking good, lots of green on the day. I hope you were bullish on the day yourself because that is a green rip to the upside. The bull camp woke up and was ready to fight. I hope you are crushing it. Now, folks, that's pretty much what I have for you for the day. If you haven't already, check out Call Sheet pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video if you want to make some of those binary bets. I'm having a blast. $50 deposit gets you $20 worth of credit, so you can play with $20 of the house's money. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Also, shout out to Rumble Coffee for being another partner. They've been a partner for a while, but partnering with another stream. I'm loving the medium roast. Check it out. If you're a coffee drinker, if you're a coffee aficionado, I think you're really, really going to enjoy it. So check those both out in the description of the video. But most importantly, I wanted to say thanks to all of you guys, all of you silly geese, all of you happy campers. I appreciate all the good vibes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're crushing it in the market. We will be posting an update video later on today and then streaming once again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. bright and early. Whether you're watching on Rumble or YouTube, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Video coming out tonight, 7:15 ET, and then streaming again tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. to catch everyone up on the breaking news, what's happening in the market, and to do some degenerate trading. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll catch you later. Have a beautiful day. Peace out.